Let's speak on catastrophe. Catastrophizing. We could win an award for the amount of catastrophizing we do in the aftermath. Now, I'm not a doctor. I've not got a degree or a PhD. I'm just a mom who had to find a way. And I managed to find the words to the emotions, to the pain, to the behaviours that I have found myself plunged in the aftermath of growing up in abuse. And I share them in order to try and help less people feel confused. This hustle and bustle we have going on in our mind, this pulling in different directions, in catastrophe, in how it can grow from a simple conversation where we're already in that moment feeling like we're not giving enough, questioning ourselves in our presence, our equal in that moment, in how if we feel, because we will analyse every word we say in the aftermath of that conversation. If we feel that we may have said something wrong, or may have hurt someone's feelings, even if the chances are we probably haven't, we will take that and we will catastrophize that in a way that no one could ever understand. And if we're feeling poorly, this small ailment can grow and grow until by the end of that day, for us in our mind, it's our end game. It's all over. And this is the battle we constantly face. And I wrote this in my book, like the game of sorry. This for me is the game of catastrophizing. Why wouldn't it be a normal in my life? Of course, catastrophizing became my thing in the aftermath. Again, my default, my connection. That one little thing goes wrong, I search for another. Not happy with that, I was in my ditch waiting for another. Finding more to dig up to pile on top, for I deserved that. And this life that I had led in my childhood had told me that. When I compared what I had to others, I must have done something so bad for nobody to step in or to help. For he told me I was no good, I wouldn't be anything. This became my comfort blanket of safe. My home. This was my zone. There were my games and what I knew best. The place I liked to go when I got triggered and broken. This little girl, she likes to take me by the hand to the edge and play, to say, look at me, it's okay. But I rejected it. I bashed it back down. I don't speak about it and I don't want to see it. Almost like I never even existed before. I go to war with it, with myself in my mind. I fear it. It don't fear me because it is me, just the broken me. Who needed validation, fixing, seeking to be heard, to be listened through, a battle of good v bad, happy v sad. But in the deep battle, visuals appear of the darkest moments I feared. And when life has shown me this fight or flight hand, I understand the possibilities of danger that are all around. You know, bad is out there. It always was for me. With knives and fires and abuse, fear, a danger to the extreme. So when I got sad or scared, or a tad insecure, this would grow and take me back to these times, playing on repeat, a saved copy, my internal hard drive in my mind, silently battling for who cared to listen, and it scared me to share. So carry on smiling, wearing that mask. Nobody cares. You fight this alone. These are rational thoughts in my head that would grow. These memories and moments not leaving me alone. Thinking the harm that could come from every direction to damage me in my now safe home. And for me, writing this book, it helps me to connect the actions and feelings of the now to back then. To complete it. So I can understand it, so I can get validation for me, my actions and behaviours, and find peace in it, you know? And when I went to therapy, and for years after, when my son went to my mum's to stay over, I would pack a bag to the extreme. I would pack this bag for every eventuality, because in my mind I had the most horrific visuals, and I would carry on that story and grow it in my head. And when I went to therapy and this came out, and she simply said to me, and honest to God, it connected a dot. when we left that day and we went into the refuge, my mum told me to pack a bag. I never. Yeah, whatever. We'll be back again, I said. And off I went out that house. Little did I know, this was the last time. So we ended up in a refuge, me, a teenage girl. I had nothing to my name other than the clothes I was wearing. Me, my mom and my brother sharing a toothbrush because we had no money either. And I then had to go to the Samaritans next door to rummage through donations, a donation pile I found myself in. However, this is a happy memory of mine. This started off my obsession with charity shops and seeking that bad, or in that moment it became, because we were free, it was over, my mom was safe, and that became a good core memory. However, with that became this trigger, this link that should my children ever leave my side, I could not cope. I had to provide for every eventuality, just in case they found themselves in the same place as me. And this is how your story links up to your now, in my opinion, in my understanding of what the aftermath is, in how it can drag you back in. But when we understand it, I find peace with that now. So this is why I share it. You know the score, in order to help you find that feeling of secure, because we don't feel that with all these branches spouting off. It's hard to get on top of this mind that just feels so insecure, you know? And you know what? Do you know what I've realised over time? When there is an actual catastrophe in my life, I stand up and I deal in that moment in time like I did back then. But yet I spent most of my life fretting, catastrophizing, the unknown, the little bits that didn't really need that time and energy, because the one thing life taught me that I can deal with the shit when it comes, the real shit, you know? So yeah, that's me. Catastrophizing is our theme.